Thomas, Daisy, and the Watermill. Daisy, the diesel railcar, considered herself to be very modern, highly sprung, up to date, and ahead of its time. Along the branch line, there's an old watermill that stood for many years. It used to provide a lot of services to a village nearby, but as time went on, it became less and less use, until it was abandoned when the villagers moved out of the town. Thomas was puffing along the line and passes the old watermill. He admired the beautiful look of it from far. Sometimes when he is early, he would stop nearby it and would admire it. "It's part of history to my branch line," he kept on saying. Meanwhile, Daisy was passing by and stopped when she saw Thomas looking at the old watermill. "Why are you admiring that old building?" she asked. "Oh, that is the oldest watermill on my branch line. Many years ago, it used to be a factory. Its water wheel powers the generator, which turns the grain into flour." "Pa," she scoffed, "modern factories that run on electricity can do the job much better than that. Stop standing around, we got work to do." Thomas chuffed on. "That watermill may be old, but it still has its uses. Maybe it will, one day." Thomas decided to sleep at Tidmer's sheds for the night, as it was getting late. He was just about to drift off to sleep when the fat controller came rushing up to the sheds. Thomas was the only one who was still awake. "Thomas, the Wellsworth flour factory had a power cut, and it cannot produce the flour, and bakeries across Sodor needed the flour quickly." Then Thomas had an idea. He explained to the fat controller that he can bring the grain to the old watermill, while Daisy can bring the workmen. "That's a wonderful idea, Thomas, but be quick now." Thomas raced off to the yards to collect the trucks. The trucks were upset to be working so late, but Thomas kept them quiet. Grain sacks are loaded into the trucks, and Thomas set off as quickly as he can. Thomas arrived at the watermill. Daisy was already there with the workmen. "Why are we here?" she asked. "That watermill will help to make the flour." "That old-fashioned thing. It will be slow compared to a modern factory that could produce it faster." "But there's no other option. The factory has a power cut, and the island needs its fresh bread." Now Daisy realized the situation. The workmen set to work to unload the sacks from the trucks, while others prepared the watermill ready to start the operation. Thomas and Daisy's lamps helped to guide the workmen to the watermill. The two engines spend the night at the watermill, and by morning, all the grain is unloaded and the watermill begins to operate. When the work is done, the workmen loaded the sacks of flour into the trucks, and Thomas was ready to set off, just as the fat controller arrived on board Edward. "Well done, Thomas and Daisy, for your work." The workmen told the fat controller that there's enough flour will be made for the bakeries to use. The fat controller was pleased. "Well, I guess the old watermill has its use after all." "That's right," said Thomas. "Modern machines don't always get the job done. Sometimes the old-fashioned way is the best." Daisy is secretly impressed, reluctantly agreed.